Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Code 369. Today we are going to learn SASS, okay? And this is a full stack development course and today is class 70. So the website from which we are learning SASS is FreeCodeCamp, okay? And I have given link in the description box to access this website. And so far we have completed some front-end libraries and those are Bootstrap, okay, and jQuery. Now we are going to see SASS, okay. SASS is nothing but syntactically of some style sheets, okay. So this is nothing but a style sheet like CSS, okay, and it is a language extension of CSS. It adds features that are not available in the basic CSS, okay. So this is an advanced style sheet of CSS, okay. So some advanced features of CSS are there in the SASS, that's it. So let us start it. So the first exercise is store data with SASS variables, okay. Now one feature of SASS that's different than CSS is it uses variables, okay. So in normal CSS we cannot use variables like how we use in programming languages, okay. But in SASS what we can do is we can use variables. So that is the important feature of SASS, okay. So here you can see here are a couple of examples. We have declared a variable, okay, using dollar, and we have given the variable name as main fonts, and we have given some fonts here, Arial and sans serif, and again we have declared a variable called headings color using dollar symbol, and we have given green, okay. And you can see in the H1 what we have done is we have given font family as main fonts variable, okay. So all the contents of the main fonts variable will be assigned here. For example, Arial sans serif. So this Arial sans serif will be coming here, okay. And for color we have given dollar headings color. So the value of this variable will be assigned here. So the value of this variable is green. So green will be assigned here, okay. So this is how we use variables in SASS, okay. Now what they have said is create a variable text color and set it to red, okay. So here we have to create, inside the style tag we have to create a variable called text color, give colon, okay, and set it to red. Then change the value of the color property for the blog post, okay, and h2 to the text color variable. So we have to change the color of these two. One is class and another one is h2 element, okay. So we have to change the color here using the variable. So they have created the color as red. Now what we are going to do is we are going to using variable and we are going to change the color. So I am going to give dollar text color, okay. Now you can see again the color red has come here, okay. So let us remove this R. Sorry, nothing is happening, it's okay. Give dollar text color, okay. Press Ctrl Enter. So instead of that, let me come back, okay. For example, I am doing this again and I am showing you the result. For example, I'm creating the variable again, text color, okay, and I'm giving it as blue, okay. Then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to replace this red with text color variable, dollar text color. So now you can see actually it was red, okay. Here you can see the output as red, okay. And when I am changing this with the variable, blue is assigned here, okay. That's it. So this is how you can change the color, okay. I did this because in order to show this result, so that's why I did this. In the actual exercise, what they told us, we have to assign red for the variable. So give red itself, okay. So now we can see it changes to red. Press Ctrl Enter. Now what we are going to do is nest CSS with SASS, okay. SASS allows nesting of CSS roles, which is a useful way of organizing a style sheet. Now normally each element is targeted on a different line to style it, like so. Okay, here you can see this nav is having the background color of red, and this nav and UL are having the live list style of none, and this nav, UL and LI are having the display of inline block. For a large project, the CSS file will have many lines and rules. This is where nesting can help organize your code by placing child style rules within the respective parent elements, okay. For example, what they have done here is, so we have to understand this, okay. If you do not know CSS, this is impossible to learn because this itself is the advanced CSS, okay. So what you have to do is, already you have to know CSS, then only you can understand this, okay. If you do not know CSS, it is impossible. So what they have done here is, they have given background color red for the navigation, okay. And UL, so this means nav UL is nothing but the UL which is nested inside the nav, okay. That is what it means. So UL is nested inside the nav, okay. So they are telling the UL which is nested inside the nav should have list style of none, okay. And here you can see this nothing but means the LI which is nested inside the UL and that UL which is nested inside the nav should have the display of inline block, okay. So we can nest all these things. For example, here they have given nav and they have given background color, and inside the nav only this UL is located. So inside this nav block you can add UL and give list style of none, okay. And inside this UL only the LI is nested. So inside this UL block you can add LI and give display of inline block, okay. So this is very simple. Now use the nesting technique, okay, to reorganize the CSS roles for both children of dot blogspot element, okay. So what are the children of blogspot? For example, you can see both children of dot blogspot element. So dot blogspot element is nothing but the element which is having the class of blogspot. So this is the element which is having the class of blogspot, and you can see two children, H1 and P. They are nested inside this block spot element. So they are called as children of block spot. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to use nesting here. Here they have declared the block spot class, but they have declared separately the styles for H1 and P. Okay. So what we can do is we can nest these two classes inside the block spot. Okay. So how to do it? So just cut this, okay, and paste it here. So that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to see create reusable CSS with make sense. Okay. In SASS, a mixin is a group of CSS declarations that can be reused throughout the style sheet. Okay. Newer CSS features take time before they are fully adopted and ready to use in all browsers. As features are added to browsers, CSS rules using them may need vendor prefixes. Consider box shadow. Okay. So they have, these are all normal code. Okay. So you don't have to consider this. It's a lot of typing to rewrite this rule for elements that have a box shadow. Okay. So this is a normal code which is used to write styles. Okay. But what we can do in SASS is we can use mixins. So mixins are like functions for CSS. Here is how to write one. Okay. So this reduces the time. So what they have told here is this word is very important. Mixins are like functions for CSS. So what the function will be having? Function will be having a function name, okay, and also arguments, okay, parameters. Functions will be having parameters. So that is what important here. Mixins are like functions, okay. So in order to create a mixin, you have to give @mixin and you have to give mixin name, okay, mixin name. Then what you have to do is you have to add parameters. So parameters are nothing but like variables in JavaScript. Okay. In JavaScript, parameters are nothing but like variables. So here also we are using parameters like variables. So we have declared $x, $y, $blur, $c. Okay. So whatever value is coming, it will be stored in this variables. $x, $y, $blur, $c. Okay, all these things. Then what we have done here is we have given WebKit box shadow as $x, $y, $blur, $c. Like that for everything we have given like that. Most box shadow, MS box shadow, for all these things we have given values of $x, $y, $blur, $c. Okay. The definition starts with @mixin followed by a custom name. The parameters $x, $y, $blur, $c in this example above, okay, are optional. So you can give parameters or you don't want to give it, okay, that's your wish. So that is optional depending on the necessity, okay. Now any time a box shadow rule is needed, only a single line calling the mixin replaces having to type all the vendor prefixes, okay. So whenever you need this style, okay, whenever you need this style, just calling the mixin name, okay, you can import all these styles. So that is what they are saying, okay. Now a mixin is called with the @include directive. So you can see, if you have to call a mixin, you have to give at include box shadow. Okay, at include mixin name. So the mixin name is box shadow. So we have given at include box shadow. Okay. Then these are all parameters. So this is just like functions. So this is like calling the function. Okay. When we are calling the function, we will be giving arguments for the parameters. So like that, we have given the value here. So this 0 pixel is nothing but $x, okay, and this 0 pixel is nothing but $y, and this 4 pixel is nothing but blur, and this hash FFF is nothing but $C, okay, that's it. So this is how we have to give the value for the parameters, okay. Now write a mixin for border radius and give it a $radius parameter, okay. So we have to write a mixin. So how to write a mixin? Give at mixin, okay, and we have to give the mixin name, and they have told border radius, okay. So let me give the mixin name as border radius, okay. Then what we have to do? We have to give parameter, okay. I am giving the parameter as $radius, and open the block. It should use all the vendor prefixes from the example. So what they are telling here is, then use the border radius mixin to give the awesome element a border, okay. So sorry, it should use all the vendor prefixes from the example. So we should use all the vendor prefixes from the example. So just copy this, okay, copy all these things and paste it here, okay. But this is for box shadow, but we are using border radius, okay. So we have to replace all the box shadow with border radius. Okay, just copy this. So what we are doing here is we are including the border radius for WebKit, MOS, MS, okay, and this is just border radius. So what we should do is we should replace all these things with $radius, okay, because that is the parameter which we are having. Give $radius. So do the same thing, copy this and paste it here, copy this and paste it here, copy this and paste it here, okay. Then what we have to do is we have to call this mixin. So how to do it? And where we have to call it? Then use the border radius mixin to give the element, okay, awesome element, a border radius of 15 pixel. So we have to call here in this ID name, okay, in this ID awesome, okay, we have to call the mixin. So how to call the mixin? Here you can see at include, you have to use at include. So give at include border radius, okay, and you have to give the parameter value, and that is 15 pixel, okay. So that's it. Now you are having all the 4 sides with border radius of 15 pixel, okay. Press Ctrl Enter. So there is some error which is I have missed the semicolon here, okay. So in JavaScript and all, if you miss the semicolon, that is not a problem. But here you can see missing the semicolon gives you error, okay. Press Ctrl Enter. So next we are going to use atf and atels to add logic to your styles. Okay. For example, the if the atf directive in SASS is useful to test for a specific case. It works just like if statement in JavaScript. So this is similar to if statement in the JavaScript. Okay. So we are creating a mixin using at. Okay. So we are creating a mixin using at, and what we are doing is we are giving the mixin name make bold, and we are giving the parameter $bool. Okay. And we are using the if statement inside this mixin. So at if, okay, at if $bool equal to true, font weight should be bold. Okay. So if this parameter is true, $bool is true, the font weight should be bold. Okay, that's what they are saying. And you can see else if also we can use else if and else. So if you know JavaScript well, this is understandable. Okay, otherwise it is not understandable. So they have used else if and else also. So if the if statement becomes false, it will check else if. Okay. And if this else if becomes false, this else if will be checked. And if this else if is also false, this else statement will be executed. Okay. And if any of this statement becomes true, the execution will be stopped. For example, if this becomes true, the red color will be assigned. And if this becomes false and this becomes true, the color will be yellow. Okay. So like that. If you know if else in JavaScript, this is easy. Otherwise, this cannot be understood. So they have created a mixin, okay, with the mixin name of text effect, and they have given a parameter called $val, and they have used if else here. Okay. So if the $val is having the value of danger, the color should be red, and if the $val is having the value of alert, the color will be yellow, and if the $val is having the value of success, the color should be green. If none of these conditions are matched, so the color will be assigned as black. Okay, that's it. Now create a mixin called border stroke. Okay, now we have to create a mixin called border stroke. So how to create it? Give at mixin border stroke. Okay. And you have to pass the parameter here. So give $val and open the block. Okay. The mixin should check for the following conditions using if, else if and else. Okay. So they have given styles for light. So if it is light, it will be having this styles. Okay. And if it is medium, this will be having this style. And if it is heavy, this will be having this style. Okay. If $val is not light, medium or heavy, the border should be set to none. Okay. So if the border val is not light or medium or heavy, okay. If the $val is none of these things, we should set the border to none. Okay. So let us do it. So this is same like here. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to give at if, okay, and give $val, because here also we are having the parameter $val only. Okay. And we have to give the value of, so if the $val is light, okay, we have to give some conditions. So give light, okay, open it with the curly braces, and you have to assign this conditions. Okay, these conditions for your border. Okay, so open the block and give border colon. So leave it as it is. Okay, let us do it after some time. Then we have to give at else if, okay, like what we have done here, okay, at else if, and give dollar $val equal to, here what it is, medium and then heavy, okay, so give medium, okay, and then open it and give border. Then we are going to have it for medium, okay, so just copy this, sorry, using alt shift down arrow. Okay, here we will be having value as, I think so, hard, no, heavy, okay, heavy. And then if the dollar val is not even light or medium or heavy, okay, it is, if the dollar val is none of these, light, medium or heavy, what we have to do is we have to give an else statement, okay. So give else and we should set the border as none, okay. So if it is light, okay, if the dollar val is light, we have to give 1 pixel solid black. So copy this and paste it here. And if it is medium, we have to give 3 pixel solid black. So copy this, paste it here. And if it is heavy, we should give 6 pixel solid black. So copy this and paste it here. Okay. Then we have to call this mix in border. So they have done it here, okay, but they have given the mix-in name as border stroke. Yeah, we also have created the name border stroke, okay. So this mix-in border stroke is called here, okay, using at include. And the value which is passed here is medium, okay. So for medium, this style will be assigned, okay. That's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So next we are going to see use at for to create a SASS loop. So we are going to use for loop in SASS, okay. So if you have to know about this, you have to know for loop in JavaScript, okay. So what they are telling here is the at for directive adds styles in a loop very similar to a for loop in JavaScript, okay. So you should be knowing how for loop works in JavaScript. At for is used in two ways, start through end or start to end, okay. So the one is start through end or start to end, okay. The main difference is that start to end excludes the end number as part of the count, and start through end includes the end number as part of the count, okay. So start through end includes the end number and start to end excludes the end number, okay. That is what you have to know here. So here is a start through end example, okay. They have created at for and they have given $I from 1 through 12, okay. So it will be including 12 also, okay. From 1 to 12 and it will be including 12 also. And they have given a style here, okay. For example, they have given dot call, okay. Dot call hash $I and this is with 100% by 12 into $I, okay. So what they have said here is $I will be having the values from 1 to 12 including 12, okay. So this is nothing but what we saw in Bootstrap, okay. Call access 4, call access 12, all these things we saw, no. and that used a 12 column grid system in the bootstrap. So it ranges from 1 to 12. Okay. So this $I will be replaced with the values of 1 to 12. Okay. So that's it. So that is how we are going to use it. The hash $I part is the syntax to combine a variable I with the text to make it a string. Okay. So what they are saying is that hash $I part is the syntax to combine a variable I with the text to make a string. Okay. So this will be made as a string. Okay. If we are giving hash $I, this will be made as a string. So here you can see call 1. Okay. So this will be converted to 1. So that's what. So this is just a syntax. Okay. When the SASS file is converted to CSS, it looks like this. So here also this will be receiving the value of 1. Okay. And it will be getting the output of 8.33%. And when it is 2, this will be getting the output of 16.66%. Like that. Here you can see if this is 12, so 12 by 12 will get cancelled and this will become 100%. So here you can see 100%. Okay. This is a powerful way to create a grid layout. So this is particularly for grid layout. Okay. So that is why I said this is a bootstrap like thing. Okay. So in bootstrap we are using grid system, and also in CSS we are using grid system. Okay. Now we have 12 options for column widths available as CS classes. So these are all nothing but column width. Okay. So we are specifying column 1, column 2, column 12, all these things. Column 3, column 4, everything. And we are specifying the width for it. Okay, 8%, 16%, 100%, all these things. Okay. Now write a @for directive that takes a variable $J that goes from 1 to 6. And they are saying 1 to 6. This means 6 is excluded, only 1 to 5. Okay. If it was given 1 through 6, the 6 also will be included. But here they have given 1 to 6. And it should create 5 classes called .text1 to .text5. Okay. Yeah, then so how to do this? We have to create at here at directive. Okay. At for, and we have to give $J, and we have to give 1 to 6. Okay. From 1 to 6. It means 1 to 5. 6 will be excluded. Okay. 1 to 6, and we have to give block here. And what we have to do is we have to make it .text1. So we have to make like this. So we have to make .text1. So give .text, and we have to include this syntax. Okay, hash $I in order to include 1. Okay. So give hyphen and give hash $J. Okay. So the J values from 1 to 5 will be included here. Okay. .text1, .text2, like that. Okay. And what we have to do is we have to give font size set to 15 pixel. So give font size as 15 pixel. Okay. And multiplied by the index. So give like this we have to give. Okay. So give asterisk and give $J. So there is some error. So we should not use curly brace here, okay. So just give $J and you will be getting the output here. Okay, you can see all the font size are varying, okay. So this is 15 pixel into 1, okay, this, and again J will be having value of 2, so this is 30 pixel, and for J equal to 3, this will become 45 pixel, and then for J equal to 4, this will become 60 pixel, okay, like that it will be increasing. So press Ctrl Enter. Now we are going to use at each to map over items in a list, okay. So the last challenge showed how the for loop, okay, for directive uses a starting and ending value to loop a certain number of times. SASS also offers the at each directive which loops over each item in a list or map. Okay, the at each is going to be loop each item, okay, in a list. On each iteration, the variable gets assigned to the current value from the list. So at each iteration, on each iteration, the variable gets assigned to the current value from the list. Okay. For example, here we are having a list of colors, blue, red, green. So at the first iteration, this color will be assigned with blue. Okay, and the second iteration, the color will be assigned with red. And in the third iteration, the color will be assigned with green. So that's it. Okay. And this is actually a list, okay. And here we are having a map. A map has slightly different syntax, okay. So what they have given is, they have given dollar colors, and this is like an object, okay, like an object that we have in JavaScript. So they have declared a variable here, and using colon they have given color 1 as blue, color 2 as red, color 3 as green, okay. Then what they have done is, they have given each, okay, at each, and they have used dollar key comma dollar color in dollar colors, okay. Actually this is just like object. So this dollar key is nothing but this color 1, okay, and this dollar color is nothing but blue, and dollar key is nothing but dollar key is nothing but color 2, and dollar color is nothing but red, okay. And again here you can see, so dollar key is nothing but color 3 and dollar color is nothing but green, okay. So this is key value, just like JavaScript objects, okay. So every time this key will be receiving color 1 and this dollar color will be receiving blue, and on the next iteration the dollar key will be receiving color 2 and the dollar color will be receiving red, and on the next iteration the dollar key will be receiving color 3 and the dollar color will be receiving green, okay. So every time this changes, okay. So dollar color will be assigned here and here also, okay, that's it. And here you can see, note that the dollar key variable is needed to reference the keys in the map, okay. Otherwise the compiled CSS would have color 1, color 2 in it. Both of the above code examples are converted into following CSS. Okay, like this the above code will be converted. So this dollar key is nothing but for reference, okay. For reference alone we have given this dollar key. Otherwise the compiled CSS would have color 1, color 2 in it, okay. In order to avoid this color 1, color 2, we have given dollar key, okay. So this dollar key will be omitted, only this dollar color will be taken, okay, that's it. Now write an at each directive that goes through a list blue, black, green, red, okay. So we have to write an at each like this, okay. So write an at each here, blue, black, red. So give at each like this, like this, okay. Give at each and you have to give dollar color in, okay, you have to use in here, and you have to give blue, black, red. Give blue, black, red. So this in is like foreign, okay, we use in JavaScript, foreign loop. So like that we are using here. So this is just like foreign loop, okay. Then you have to open the block and you have to give what? And assigns each variable to a dot color bg, okay, class, where the color part changes for each item. Each class should set the background color, the respective color. So what they are saying is assigns each variable to a dot color bg class. So this class should be dot color bg, okay. So give dot color bg, and this color should be varying, okay, and that is blue, black, green. So what you have to give is you have to give dot, and you can see it here, I think so, yeah, here, and you have to give dot hash, okay, like what we see in the previous exercise, and give curly brace. Okay, then you have to open it and you have to give background color, okay. So give background color and assign the color from this variable, okay, dollar color. So copy this and paste it. So that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So there is some error, why? So we have done the same thing, but some error is there. Actually the error is I have missed the dollar here, okay, that's the error. So now we are having different background colors, okay. Blue, black, red, that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. Now apply a style until a condition is met with at while, okay. So this is the same as while loop in JavaScript, okay. If you have to understand this, you have to know while loop in JavaScript. The at for challenge gave an example to create a simple grid system. This can also work with at while, okay. So initially they have given the value for $x as 1 and they have given at while condition. So this block will be executed until this condition becomes true, okay. So when the $x is less than 13, this block will be executed, okay. And when this $x is not less than 30, this block will not be executed, okay. That's it, very simple. So here use at while to create a series of classes with the different font sizes, okay. So we have to create at while, okay. Then what they are saying is there should be 5 different classes from text 1 to text 5. So up to text 5 we have to create. So first of all, let us create at while here, okay? And it should be from text 1 to text 5, okay? So 5 different classes should be there. So initially I am setting dollar and they did not tell the variable name, okay? So I can give dollar $j here, okay? Dollar $x or dollar $y, okay? And initially set it to 1. Then what you have to do is you have to give at while and give the condition here, okay? Dollar $y less than or equal to 5, okay? Because 5 classes we have to create starting from 1 to 5. So I am giving dollar $y less than or equal to 5 and give here. So we have to give text 1. So what we have to do is we have to give, and that should be a class. So we should give dot, okay, dot text hyphen, and you have to give hash curly brace of dollar $y, okay. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these things will be assigned here. And now you have to give the style. So give the style here. Then set the font size to 15 pixel. So give font size, okay, 15 pixel multiplied by the current index number. So multiply it with dollar $y, okay. So that's it, press Ctrl Enter. Here I have missed one thing, okay, in the while loop. So initially the dollar $x will be having 1, okay, and it should be executed until the dollar $x is having the value less than 13, okay, and when it goes after 13, this block will not be executed. So every time the value of dollar $x should be increased with the value of 1, okay. So this code is important here. So every time the x value will be increasing by 1. So this is what the meaning of this code. But what I have done is I have missed the code here, okay. So I have to write the code here. So after this what we have to give is dollar $y equal to, and that is semicolon, colon, dollar $y colon dollar $y plus 1, okay. Press Ctrl Enter. You can see the output here, okay. Now we are going to see partials. Split your styles into smaller chunks with the partial, okay. So partials in SASS are separate files that hold segments of CSS code, okay. These are imported and used in other SASS files. This is a great way to group similar code into a module to keep it organized. So what we are going to do is we are going to split some code into separate files, okay. Names for partial starts with the underscore. So partials will be having their name with the underscore character, okay, which tells SASS it is a small segment of CSS and not to convert it into CSS file, okay. So to bring the code in the partial into another SASS file, you have to use the import directive, okay. So you have to use @import directive. For example, if all your mixins are saved in a partial named underscore mixins.scss, so the partial name should be starting with underscore, and this is also a SASS file, okay. So it should be having the extension of .scss, and we are going to import this mixin here, okay. Import this partial now. So how to import this? And where we are going to import is main.scss file. So we are going to import this mixins.scss file into main.scss, okay. So this is how we are going to import. You should give @import, and in the double quotes you have to give the partial name, and that is mixins, okay. Note that the underscore and file extension are not needed in the import statement, okay. So you can omit the underscore and the file extension of SCSS, okay. So even though you leave it, the SASS will understand it is a partial, okay. So that's it. Once a partial is imported into a file, all variables, mixins and other code are available to use. So write an import statement to import a partial named variables.scss into the main.scss file, okay. So this is a main.scss file. So we are going to import a partial. So how to import it? We have to give @import, okay, @import, and in the double quotes what you have to give is the the partial name, and the partial name is variables, okay. Press Ctrl Enter. Now extend one set to CSS styles to another element. So extend one set of CSS styles to another element. Okay, SASS has a feature called extend that makes it easy to borrow the CSS rules from one element and build upon them in another. So what we will be doing is we will be using a set of CSS rules which is applied to one element into another element, okay. For example, the below block of CSS rules style a dot panel class, okay. So these styles are made for element which are all having class of dot panel, okay, class of panel, okay. Now you want another panel called dot big panel, okay. It has same base properties as dot panel. So base properties are nothing but background color, height, border, all these things. So this big panel class also has the same properties, background color, height, border, but also needs a width and a font size, okay. But it will be having two more properties. This big panel will be having two more properties, width and font size. It's possible to copy and paste the initial CSS rules from dot panel. So what we are going to do is we are going to copy these rules to the big panel class, and we are going to add two more properties of width and font size, okay. Okay, the extend directive is a simple way to reuse the rules written for one element, okay. Then add more for another. So what we are going to do is we are going to give dot big panel, okay, that is the class name, and we have given @extend dot panel, okay. So all the styles from this panel class will be copied to the big panel using @extend dot panel, okay. So dot panel is nothing but the class name. So all the styles of the class panel will be copied here, okay, that's it. And two more properties of width and font size are added here. Okay, now we have to make a class .info important that extends .info and also has a background color, okay. So what we have to do is we have to create a new class called info important, okay. And what we are going to do is we are going to use extend. Okay, so give at extend, and we are going to copy all the styles from the info class. Okay, so this is the info class, so all these styles will be copied here using at extend dot info. Okay, then we have to include a background color also, so give background color set to magenta, so the background color should be magenta. Okay, so that's it. Press Ctrl Enter. So that's it, my friends. We have completed SASS. Okay, 100% completed. So far we have completed front-end libraries of Bootstrap and jQuery and SASS. Okay. So next we are going to see React. Okay. So let us see in the upcoming videos. Okay, the next class will be having React. Okay, so we will be seeing React in the next class. So thank you for watching my videos, friends. Thank you for supporting me, and let us see in the upcoming videos. Please do subscribe. Thank you.